Welcome. So here we go. I'm going to just jump straight in um, and focus in our conversation on if there was one thing to focus in on around the Inspire program and the power of the program and the transformation of the program um, would be this topic of the story that's running our lives. And if you've been to any of my sessions before, and Jane, I know you've been to quite a few of the sessions where I've talked on these topics, and I always say our external world is a reflection of our internal world. To go deeper, our internal world, so much of it is reflected or is reflective of the narrative, the conversation that's being had in our mind. And most of the time, it's like a one-way conversation. The mind's just kind of talking all the time. And therefore, the narrative, if we start to pay attention, has a certain theme to it, which I call the story. And the story, essentially, as it says here, runs our lives. So the external worlds that we seem to experience is a representation and a reflection of our internal world, which is very much dictated and shaped by the conversation that's going on internally, the story that's playing out in our minds. And how does this relate to yoga or yoga teaching? If those who are watching the recording, or even you, Jane, that you hear, if you're thinking, well, what does that have to do with postures or the body? Well, actually, our body tells the story of our life. Our breath pattern tells the story of our life. So it actually has everything to do with our life completely, our body, our breath, our minds, our emotions, the results that we are getting or not getting, or the situations that we find ourselves in, how we act and react to things. It is the operating system that is running our lives. So the story that's running our lives. And the next kind of parts that I'm going to share, I am going to go through a little bit lighter and quicker, just because a lot of people, who watch these recordings or have been in the community have heard me talk about it. But I'm going to zoom in on certain parts which are more relevant to the Inspire program itself, relating to this story work. So Inspire is the program where we do the deepest elements of the story work. It starts, in Awaken in the 3 days. On day 2 is a light touch. And if you've been to Awaken, day 2 is not light, but I'm calling it light in kind of light of, the greater process that we've got for the year of Inner Circle and Inspire. If you can imagine day 2 being light, if you've been to Awaken, well, Inspire is way, way deeper. And not to exaggerate, as in like, oh, you're going to be, a bumbling mess or whatever because of the depth of the program. When I say the depth of the program, I mean the potential that is available, the life that is available because of the transformation that people experience in the program, or over the last 16 or so years of me facilitating around 2 to 3 of these programs every year. So it's been an evolution over the last 16 years. So the process itself, 16 years, has boiled down to this. Very simple. I like to take complex things and make them simple. And essentially, it's a journey of mapping out where you are now and where you'd like to get to, the life that I'm calling your Awaken's life, a life that you consciously call forth and create. We start the journey in Awaken, our 3-day program. Inspire is our, there's Awaken, Evolve, Inspire, and Inspire is a kind of deepest program where we do the story work. And, for those people who are in our Inner Circle, who are going through the year-long process, Inspire is the third part, where we do the depth of the work. Or some people also just join us at the Inspire program, which is what we're talking about for the teacher training part. So this is kind of just a map in case, it helps orientate a little bit in this body of work where Inspire fits in, and the process that we're talking about here is this third, more blossom open lotus flower, the Inspire process. And this map, most people have seen if you've been to any of the sessions where I'm teaching, the free sessions like this one, Feel, Heal, Manifest. And, Awaken, our 3 days of Awaken, we spend a day each on Feel, a day on Heal, a day on Manifest. Manifest, not just because it's a buzzword. What I mean by manifest is to call forth consciously, to create, to map out, to call forth and step in and start to live the kind of life that you truly want. And most of the time, people come in and they just want the end result. They say, yeah, teach me how to manifest, teach me how to create this life that I want. And be as it may, I might, be able to teach. I can teach the process, but just as quickly as we are to manifest things, we sabotage it. So, the underlying belief structures, if are not worked on, then, it's no point learning about manifesting anything, because when we don't do the deeper work internally, the heal part, there's no point really. We just go back to how things were before. That's why we live life in patterns over and over again, reliving things, different place, different people, different content, but actually the same story repeating over and over again. And that is reflective of, as I said before, in the body, in the breath, in all areas of our lives. So the inspire process is where we go. It's the deepest of the three parts, three programs that we have. The heal, we focus a lot on the heal part. The feel, connecting with the body and breath. And then, going in and doing the story work, and the space that is created is where we start to plant the seeds for the life that you want to call forth, whether it's being a yoga teacher, or if you're simply into the process to heal parts of your life, then, maybe to create amazing relationships, or transform your health, or live, in your highest purpose, which is another part of what we do in the inspire process, connecting to your highest why, your bigger why in this lifetime. That's actually another part of what we do in this inspire process. The 6 key areas which we start in awaken, we go deeper in inspire. We focus a lot on body by way of yoga and meditation. We do a lot of work on purpose, and then depending on what kind of shares we have, the same kind of formula also applies with the areas of relationship, time, and money. And ultimately, all of it is connecting to the highest, within ourselves, our spirit, source, universe, love, life, God, whatever word works for you. The 4 key areas or modalities of yoga, meditation, transformation work, and healing. All of these apply in the inspire process. All of this we go in quite great depth, from, if let's say yoga from a practitioner point of view, all the way to teaching. And if, sometimes people join the inspire process because they don't want to teach, but they're coming in to transform their lives. And yoga is one of the doorways to go inwards, to look inwards, and to experience transformation. It's not just through our transformational process work that we do. Breaking it down, the feel, heal, manifest. Feel in order to heal. You learn new depths of what this means, to feel into your breath, to feel into your body as you're doing the practices, doing the yoga practice, doing the breathing, doing the meditations. You really start to get present to what is sitting within. So, for some people it's grief, for some people it's anger, for some people it's forgiveness that, they haven't given yet. So the stuff that needs looking within, not that you're broken or you need fixing. The presupposition of the program is that you're not broken and you don't need fixing, and I'm certainly not here to fix you, or the process is not here to fix you. But by virtue of looking within, we start to step our lives to a different level of what's possible. And then the feel to heal, to make it more tangible, use yoga and meditation to create these shifts. This formula, so the feel to manifest, this diagram also, if you've been to any of the programs, you would have seen it before. Healing can happen on the level of body, mind, and emotion. Ultimately, it's our connection to spirit that brings about any healing in any area, whether it's the mind, body, or emotion. And then when we look at the mind in the bottom left-hand corner here, I'm talking about time being represented in the mind, past, present, future. And you'll see here at the bottom, it says story. So inspire, we do a lot of the work that we do is around this area of mind, which then ties into emotion, which then ties into body. So how the narrative actually plays out in our body, in our breath, and reflects out into our lives. And as you know, the reward of actually doing the healing work is that there's space within, so that applying this formula of clarity of intention and receiving it back in frequency, in emotion, and by doing the internal work, the work around clearing beliefs and shifting beliefs and transforming our beliefs, therefore we become a space, we become a magnet for the life that we are calling forth, a frequency, a different life, life at a different frequency, and different possibilities become possible when we clear beliefs that actually are blocking that which we say we want.